the 20th to the 21st century, cars were everything. From the Thunderbirds to the new 5.0 Mustangs, automobiles have evolved into something more significant. They are faster and sleeker than ever, but most importantly, they have become America's new hobby. However, this hobby has been a very controversial topic for many national citizens. According to the Charlotte Observer, every 2 or 3 deaths in the US is caused by professional auto racing, meaning that in illegal races, it would be inferred that this grisly statistic is significantly more. Here, we wanted to interview some people around Fresno, California who have been doing this for a very long time, as well as some citizens and what they think about this. We wanted to find out if street racing is really as harmful as people deem it to be. First, let's talk about why people deem it inadequate. Accidents. According to Carlin and Carlin Law Corporation, over 3,700 people die on California roads and over 20 to 55 million people globally. Because this is based on statistics of regular people, we can only deem street racing a significant factor. In addition to this, according to Frank Verdernam, a known attorney in the state of Arizona, he states that high-speed collisions, loss of control, risk of rollovers, inadequate reaction time, and etc. are all the factors of street racing accidents. But he later imposes a counter-argument in an article that states that it brings people together. So the real question of this topic is whether the community of street racing outweighs the number of accidents that happen annually. Here, we wanted to interview regular people who aren't part of this community, but see what they feel about street racing. Okay, what's your name?
I'm Sophia Alvarez.
All right. We just wanted to ask citizens about, or just regular people who don't really know much about street racing on like how they feel about it. And right off the bat, the first question is, what do you really think about street racing though?
I think street racing can be kind of cool if it's like an empty street. I think if there's no one around and no one's being really endangered by it, then it can be okay. But on busy streets, and especially during the day, I think it can be really dangerous.
All right. Second question, in your life, it doesn't have to be about you, but maybe like about your friends or something. Have they ever been affected negatively about street racing?
I think one time I was driving on like Willow, and it was not too late at night, maybe like 8 p.m. and there were a bunch of like big trucks and they were racing. And when it kind of surrounded me, it was kind of scary in the moment because it's dark, and when they're going fast, you don't really know like what lane they're going into and if they can hit you or not. So that was pretty scary to experience. So, let's talk about the pros of street racing. Of course, if you ever wanted to get into street racing, you would need a car of some sort. So, let's look at the GT500 Mustang, for example. One of the most sought-after cars has its valid reasons anyway. According to Shelby American, stock specs include a 5.2-liter aluminum alloy V8 engine that pushes a whopping 760 horsepower, which goes 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.4 seconds. Price ranges vary from $80,000 to $127,000. This car is a beauty to the street racing community, and people spend their life savings on just a car. So imagine how much people really care about the art of automobiles. A lot. Each year, we Americans add $1.4 billion into the GDP alone, which doesn't include specific parts for cars and whatnot. With this statistic, we can infer that car communities do put in a lot of their incomes on automobiles, which is a huge sum of what our GDP is. Therefore, we can say that street racing really benefits our country's cost of living, and that also the reason why American manufacturers like Ford and Chevrolet are booming in business. In this next interview, we wanted to interview someone who owns a Mustang and see what his experience were having one. So, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Santiago. It's my car. Right here.
Cool. We have a 5.0 Mustang right here. That's really nice. All right. We just want to ask you a few questions about your experience in street racing.
For sure.
So first question: what was the most exciting thing that happened, or like what was your greatest accomplishment when you were street racing, like your journey?
Me, to be honest, there was like this one car that I was like kind of like skeptical of racing. It was like a Scat Pack. He had like a lot of mods on it, and I was okay, we can do a 40-roll or a drag. We ended up doing drag. I beat him in that like by a whole car length. That was pretty accomplishing.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, cool. Second question. Why do you think there's such a big car community?
Well, I mean, everyone wants to feel, special about something like their car. And I mean, a car is like essentially your personality, either if it's like, all cutesy or it's like all mean, and tough.
Nice.
That's what I think.
What makes racing so fun for you?
Me, to be honest, it's like the adrenaline and like mainly like listening to music while doing it. It's just like puts me in like a mood and like go to sleep like all like shaky handed.
Yeah. So in your own experience, how has like car racing helped you personally? Maybe like mentally, like, maybe like if you were in like the deepest, darkest times of your life, how did that like help you?
But to be honest, it gets you a lot of friends, Like I wouldn't say respect, but more like recognition among like other people with like cooler cars, And you feel good about yourself when like these people with like a lot of recognition and cooler cars than you like you.
Cool.
Another reason that people can benefit from street racing isn't what you would expect. Think about it for a minute. It's health benefits. Now, people who might be watching this would be skeptical about this fact, but it is medically based. For instance, according to Chris Tangella, a certified anatomic and clinical pathologist for the University of Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, he states that it boosts cardiovascular fitness, requiring quick reflexes and intense focus, which can lead to an increase in blood flow and heart rate, as well as weight loss. He also states that it can help with improved coordination and reaction time due to its intensity. Not only in the physical trait, it can help with one's mental health as well. With a higher boost of confidence and self-esteem, being in a part of a street racing community and experiencing the thrill of victory can lead to a better mental state. Even buying or receiving the car that you wanted for so long can also lead to a boost of accomplishment, which will definitely feel like you did something significant with your life. Or in other words, feel like this was a new chapter that was just unlocked. Here we interviewed a medical professional who will go deeper into what it means to have a better physical and mental state, as well as a person who experienced what it felt to buy a car that they wanted for so long and how it made them feel.
Okay, so first question, when racing, what are the physical benefits?
Yeah, if the body is not physically trained at a fast pace, and if the cardiovascular system is not trained, the body cannot withstand external speed. Therefore, physical training takes precedence for a car racing.
Second question, what are some mental health benefits that you receive when racing?
If we drive, while we're driving, we're not able to concentrate it, and they cannot operate properly, so they made a mistake, and then this one exposed to greater risk of accidents. So that's why mental health is really important when you're driving.
I'm here with the boy LT1 Mo.
How you guys doing?
I got a couple questions for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. First question. How was it when you first got your car?
When I first got my car, it was like a dream. I was like, no way I have a Camaro. I always wanted one when I was little. And then I got it, and then I just went crazy. I started driving, went to car meets, everything. I love my car.
And then when you first got it, it was all stock, right? You
Yeah.
added all
It
this?
was all gray, it's everything.
Everything. Okay, okay. What made you get into cars?
When I was little, I was giving the rap, Lightning McQueen. Watching him made me love cars growing up. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to get my own one day. And
Okay.
then, bam, slowly I got my...
You made it.
Because of these reasons alone, we felt like, despite all the irresponsible street racers in the community, that the street racing community as a whole is something that everyone who would want to get into cars should join. According to Karloff, being around like-minded
car lovers means that you have a platform to share your love for automobiles and receive good advice from people that know what they're talking about. Therefore, we deem street racing as a good thing, rather than a bad thing due to the personal benefits like physical and mental health, as well as the boosting the economy and being socially active with others that love the same things you do.